Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make this look, which will actually be the last autumn look for the upcoming like 4 weeks, because it will be October then, and yeah, I want to do a bunch of Halloween looks in the, next 4 tutorial videos. I might actually do some get ready with me type videos, sort of like thrown between them on days that I normally don't upload videos, just because, not everyone is into Halloween videos, and yeah, just basically to upload some more like just regular wearable looks, I guess. This depends on how much time I'll have, but hopefully I'll manage to film some. Yeah, in any case, for today I did want to do a, sort of like just wearable, well, I think it's wearable autumn look, sort of smoky, but yet sort of like with a cut crease and everything. I just like the contrast between that. And mostly I just wanted to use the Matte Me lip cream again by Sleek in Fandrango Purple, because I bought a bunch of these a while back, reviewed them, then put them in my makeup kits and proceeded to never use them on myself again. So yeah, it was high time that I did that again. Because it's a really pretty color and I do actually like matte lips. So yeah, in any case, let's get started. Okay, the first one I'm going to start out, the first eyeshadow I'm going to start out with is actually one that is probably not available anywhere abroad, because it's from a Dutch drugstore. But yeah, it's basically just a bronze eyeshadow. This one is by Etos. Looks really pretty. And yeah, it's just a baked eyeshadow in a bronze shade. So basically, as always, just use whatever you want. Yeah. In any case, I'm going to use this small eyeshadow brush by Eco Tools to apply this. And I'm just applying it on the entire moving eyelid. It doesn't give like very extreme color, which is really beautiful, glittery bronze. And I hope it actually picks up on camera. Sorry by the way if the lighting is sort of weird. The sun keeps fading in and out on that side, and then on this side I have my daylight lamp. So yeah, occasionally you can see the light coming from that side, and then when the sun comes back it's from that side, and yeah. Either way, I hope it's still visible what I'm doing. In any case, if you're using the same brush, you also put this at about the center of the lower lash line. I'm trying to make it sort of like partly smoked out and partly, really straight line. So yeah, I'm not being very like, specific in where I put the eyeshadow on the lower lash line. Yeah. Yeah, in any case, then it's time for the highlight, because otherwise I'll forget, because that's always the part I forget. In any case, I'm using the Calvin Klein eyeshadow, cream eyeshadow in Snakeskin Silver, which I once bought at a budget store somewhere, so it's probably a really old collection and not available anymore. But yeah, I'm just going to use this sort of round brush by Eco Tools. By the way, I used to absolutely, well, not hate it, but really dislike this stuff, because it's not very extremely visible, but nowadays I do like it for some reason. But yeah, I'm just going to put this on the inner corner of the eye. And then it looks like this. It's not a very obvious highlight, but I want to keep it like more to the dark side, and then just a little bit of highlight. Just because. It makes it look prettier. So yeah, then on to the next part. For this part you could use either shadow shields or tape. Personally I prefer to use a piece of paper. I just folded a post-it note in half, and because then it's less sharp and less big obviously. And then I'm just going to remove this hair. Always fun, there's nice little hairs that can just go underneath the thing. In any case, the most difficult part with this is to get it lined up with your other eye. At least that's the part that I always find the most difficult. But yeah, just line it up like so. And maybe I should have opened the eyeshadow before putting it in place. Duh. Okay, in any case, yeah, basically open the eyeshadow jar first before putting the paper in place, because you're gonna have to hold this like the downside compared to putting tape on it. But personally I prefer not to put tape on it, because I know it doesn't like it tugging at my skin and everything. So yeah, in any case, this is the first eyeshadow I'm going to use for the crease. It's Brun Café by Yves Rocher, and yes, the thing won't open further than this, which sort of looks fancy, but is sort of awkward when showing it in front of the camera. But yeah, in any case, the brush I'm going to use is this angled brush, the large, medium angled shading, by Sigma. And yeah, so I'm just going to put the paper in place. It's really the most difficult part about this entire look, to make it look sort of even with the other eye. And what I always do when I use this method is by just starting in the crease. And really darken it up the quickest, and then I can do the rest of the eye without having to put the paper there. Also putting it in the outer V. The shade doesn't really show up all that much over really bronzy shimmery shades, but it gives a little bit of darkness, so it's good. And then when that's there, I'm just going to remove the paper obviously and do the rest of the crease without the paper there. Just because it's not very useful to have to hold the paper there while not being working on that side of the eye anymore. Well, not working on that side of the eye anymore is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm just using the same brush to blend it out really well. Which as usual is like one of the most important parts of this entire look. To just really blend it out so there's no harsh lines. You can always just clean the brush, just wipe it off on a towel or something between the two steps, just so you can just blend with a relatively clean brush, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, then it looks like this, and I'm also going to put a little bit of that in the outer corner. It doesn't have to be really dark or anything, because I'm going to apply another color on top of it later. But yeah, this gives some extra dimension. Yeah, then I'm moving on to the next brush, which is same round one that I used for highlighting. It's by Eco Tools again. And this liquid metal eyeshadow by Catrice in the shade We're the Inner Purple. Really pretty. I actually don't know if they still have the shade, because last time I was at Kruidvat, where they sell it in the Netherlands, they didn't have it anymore, but maybe it was just sold out. But yeah, then just put the paper back in place. It's easier now because there's already a line we can follow. Yeah. And if it doesn't completely line up, it doesn't really matter all that much, because it's going to be, you know, covered with black later anyways. And with this I'm just deepening up the crease and also the outer V. So yeah, basically you're using purple, but it's not actually going to be a very bright purple or anything. It's just, you know, the hint of purple in it basically. Okay, once it's dark enough, I'm just again removing the paper and applying the rest of this without it. And then for blending, I'm just going to start out blending it with the small brush, because I really want to keep this concentrated on the inner part of the crease. And if needed, you can also just use another brush to further blend it, which isn't really needed in this case. Just going to apply a little bit more there. Okay. But if needed, you can also use a really large fluffy blending brush, such as this one by Sigma, which is the taper blending. And just move over this part until it's just completely smooth and no harsh lines are left. And then it looks like this, obviously. Then I'm going back to the really short back. I didn't think I used this one for this eye yet. Yeah, then I'm just moving on to this really short brush by Eco Tools again, and just the same purple color. And also put that on the lower lash line in the outer corner. Again, doesn't have to be completely dark, just as long as it gives some dimension. Then we're going to move on to the actual dark colors, for which I'm yet again going to use an Eco Tools brush, namely this really thin, narrow, angled one. Sort of a really large eyebrow brush, I guess. In any case, I'm going to use another Catrice product now. It's the Cake eyeliner. You can also use a very dark black eyeshadow for this. For example, Urban Decay eyeshadow will work. But yeah, this is sort of the budget version. It's the Cake eyeliner Wet and Dry. You can use this obviously both wet and dry. Now I'm going to use it dry and just make a line with it on my upper eyelid, obviously. Don't make it too sloppy, because you do want it to stay in one place, yeah. But it doesn't have to be completely neat, because we're gonna blend it out later.
I just really want to have sort of a smoky effect.
And I'm also putting this in the
cut crease that we made here. Just really carefully, you don't really have to use the paper for this anymore.
I mean, you could use the paper for this, but
I prefer not to because it's,
I don't know, to me it's just easier to do it like this.
And I'm just sort of blending it inwards.
And I'm also putting that on the lower lash line, because I'm going to use a pencil eyeliner later, and you could also just blend out the pencil eyeliner, but I, for some reason, always fail in blending out pencil eyeliner. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong, but I just can't do it. So instead I just prefer to use an eyeshadow, or cake eyeliner in this case. So we already have to blend that part before the actual pencil eyeliner is there. And then I'm just going to use the other side of the brush, like the, you know, just the large or small, eyeshadow brush that we used at the beginning. And just blend it all out. Don't blend it too far obviously, but
just again so that it goes a little bit smoky instead of too harsh.
Okay. And then it's time to move on to liquid eyeliner. Wait, not yet time to move on to liquid eyeliner. First it's time to move on to pencil eyeliner. It's Blackened Black that I'm going to use by Estée Lauder.
Which is expensive, but it's the only one that will actually stay on my waterline throughout the entire day. And yeah, be careful not to push your contact lens out. You could also just try to look away. Personally, I do prefer to look into a mirror while doing this.
But then again, I do wear contact lenses and I don't have sensitive eyes at all, so, you know, just do whatever works for you. Okay. By the way, if you got any fallout like at any point throughout this entire thing, then you can always use a fan brush to sort of wipe it away. The fan brush is by Maybelline, by the way. Bought it in Germany. It was only like €2 or something, really cheap, but it does stay in shape, which is good. Yeah. So then it's time to move on to liquid eyeliner. I'm using the liquid ink by Essence as usual when I'm using a liquid liner, and I'm just going to make a really thin line. And I hope you can properly see it. I'm just going to move the mirror a little bit so you can see this part of the mirror, but I can't do this while the mirror is too far away from me.
And just making a really thin line.
Okay.
And I'm also making a little bit of a wing.
Not making it too big. You could do an extreme wing with this, but I don't know, I don't want to cover up the entire cut crease part.
So I'm keeping it at a little tiny cute wing. And just fill it in obviously.
Because otherwise it would hide the entire cut crease part, and you know, I didn't just make that to enjoy myself, I just do still want it to show up. Okay, and then it looks like this. Obviously, you can see that. Yeah, and then it's time to move on to mascara. I'm going to use the Scandaleyes Retro Glam mascara by Rimmel, which is actually one that I sometimes hate and sometimes like, and yeah, but back when I first bought it, I mostly bought it because I just liked the packaging. Yeah, then I realized it's extremely, well not extremely, but it's sort of clumpy. I mean, you can't really see it on this eye because it's a dark eye look, and that's kind of the whole point I'm trying to make here. For a natural look I would not recommend this because it can be very clumpy, but for more extreme looks like this, it does make the eyelashes like really dark and thick and, you know, really stand out. So for that I do like it.
So yeah, basically I've learned to like it.
And another thing with this mascara is like, don't be too rough with it when doing this motion,
because it'll glue the eyelashes together. So yeah, basically it's a really nice mascara if you know how to use it. And also, when I'm done with this,
Yeah.
I always like to put like the most focus on the outer corner of the eye.
Okay, that's about right. And then I'm also going to the lower lashes, but I'm not going to do this with this one because it would get clumpy on the lower lashes. So for that I'm going to use the Catrice Glamour Doll mascara. Which is basically just a really nice mascara with a really tiny wand. And just combing it through my lower lashes. And just a little bit more on this side. Okay, and then that's done. So yeah, now I'll just fill in my eyebrows and then return to you with the lip product that I'm going to use. Okay, but now I started on my lips obviously. I'm using Fandrango Purple by Sleek from the Matte Me Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Creams. You can just use the applicator, but I prefer to use a brush, and I'm using the detailer brush by Build Techniques for that, just because it gives me more control. Okay, so this was today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Okay, for this look I'm going to start out with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade 24K Gold. Which is